We're assuming that Arjun also... Oh, Arjun actually loses, so he is at 2 out of 3, so that's one of the favorites knocked down a bit. Niemann, Caruana, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, most of them now have still 3 points. Magnus has a perfect 1 out of 1, but he hasn't showed up to the following games. We suspect it was because he's traveling and he was playing on his phone or a tablet. But not the ideal way to play Title Tuesday when you need an extra camera. You can't really be on the move. So this is a golden opportunity for one of these two guys to win the tournament, and they're already off. Duda has had several very good results in Title Tuesday recently and is currently one of the guys who would be qualified for the Esports World Cup, but he needs more points to be totally sure.
Yeah, Duda was one of the players of the winter split. He was just so consistent, so strong every week. Several podium finishes. Hikaru struggled, and Hikaru plays the solid Berlin defense. Duda plays the anti-Berlin, which means keeping all the pieces on the board, which normally we like to see, although I quite like the Berlin endgame as well. And yeah, solid stuff so far, still opening theory. Black loses a bit of time with his bishop, just to break this annoying pin that was previously against the Black Queen. And the game goes on. Normally white just continues piece development with the knight, maybe with the rook.
Can white not win a pawn here? Is that crazy?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. There were some tactics. Bishop takes knight, the black pawn would have taken, and if white had taken in the center, black could actually have taken in the center as well. And due to some tension between these pieces and in the center, that's some opening theory there. Black would have regained the material with equality. So Duda wants to keep the tension.
Makes sense. Well, this is a big matchup already in round 3 against, I would say 2 of the favorites to win the whole thing. So this the winner of this game can be the winner of the tournament. Pretty solid stuff so far, it seems. You are vouching for this theory, David. So I would say
I've played the Berlin too much in my life as black, enough that I've learned to. I've learned to enjoy suffering a bit.
Yeah, you grandmasters.
It's a good weapon when you want to just survive the opening and get a game, but yeah, it's not always the most thrilling.
So you like the Berlin endgame for black or for white or for both?
Only for black, because
Okay.
I feel like a draw is fine. If I get more, great. With white, a draw isn't always fine.
Because it seems like sometimes there comes this guy who has studied the endgame with white and has some new ideas, because you can play it in so many different ways, and suddenly the endgame is fine for white, but then black figured out, and then probably you need to know a lot to play this endgame with black.
Yeah, it's often a knowledge test. MVL, I think Maxime Vachier-Lagrave is the only modern grandmaster who consistently beats the Berlin wall with the white pieces. But not many are brave enough to go into it these days. Most people prefer going to something like this or more symmetrical positions.
I also feel like a lot of the players, they don't want to go into like an endgame too early, because it kind of robs them of opportunities to win earlier on in the game. And especially here in Title Tuesday, when you know mistakes are going to be made, it's kind of like you want to keep lots of pieces on the board when people are making mouse slips and people are not playing their best always. It's good to have some other chances of ways of winning. But Hikaru and Duda already meeting in the 4th round, as one of our commenters is saying. The tournament is stacked, and there are a lot of top players participating today. Other candidates that we have are Bluebaum, Caruana, Yesipenko is also playing. So a lot of them are showing up here for final weeks before the candidates tournament.
This feels like opening success for Duda, I think. Seems like he still has he has managed to kind of keep the white advantage with a bit of initiative. Like this bishop h2 move, kind of
Mysterious.
yeah, a bit mysterious, but maybe wants to move g4 at some point, I suppose. Otherwise, this move doesn't make so much sense.
I always feel uncomfortable with a bishop like this, because back rank checkmate is back on the agenda.
Yeah.
But maybe he was foreseeing that the pawn might hit the bishop.
Yeah, long term you go king h1, bishop g1, move the knight, play the f pawn, and then suddenly the bishop comes alive on another diagonal. Oh, I don't know.
Okay. In the meantime, Jan Krzysztof Duda is just maneuvering, just sitting on the
Krzysztof,
position.
wasn't that what we were told by Miłosz? We've been trying to learn some Polish pronunciation, but it's not easy.
Oh, apparently it's one of the hardest pronunciations in the world because they have this S, Z, Z, a lot
Yeah.
of these, which they stack together, and then you get a lot of like very small tongue, pronunciation with this, which is super hard.
In the meantime,
Hikaru's spending
very
some time.
committal.
Well, he's
I'm
discussing
gonna
if
play
he's
here, just
gonna-
wait. He's always
gonna
got rook
wait.
a8, but I'm not worried.
Hikaru is always telling his audience quite a lot about the state of the situation. And he's saying that he's just trying to wait it out a little bit. He has a bit of a time advantage. So that's something to hope for.
Well, I kind of like Hikaru's position more and more now because it's clear what Black is doing. He's trying to break through on the king side, trying to launch an attack, whereas White is a bit stuck at the moment. Well, talking about this bishop, now it's out. But what is it doing on this diagonal? It's not doing much.
yeah, great prediction there, that the white king would shuffle into the corner and the bishop would breathe new life on this diagonal.
Well, it's covering b6.
Stops the black knight coming out. Whoops, sorry. The bishop could take it, but Black's bishop is alive again. And it does feel like Duda's struggled to find a plan over the last 15 moves. Hikaru's position looked like way more passive 15 moves ago. White's position looks pretty much the same.
Okay, but he breaks in the center now. This is critical.
Okay, which way to take?
If you take with the pawn, then there's something pawn hanging on b4.
Takes with the knight.
Yeah, makes sense.
Levon Aronian has already won his 4th round, and he is at a perfect 4 out of 4.
Impressive.
Very impressive, and we'll be eager to see if he's still playing with a nosebleed later, as he was in round 1.
You see Duda starting to shake a little bit his head, and that's a clear sign that he's not comfortable. And also, if you see at the time, now it's just 20 seconds behind, but this
Very
position,
double-edged.
yeah,
It's a bullet game now.
it is.
I'm gonna go for it though. Let's see.
Oh, he's going
I'm going to go for it. He's moving pieces forward.
Oh, Hikaru's opening up his own king, though. Those rooks aren't happy that their file has been blocked. Now they're staring at a pawn and...
Four, yeah.
Ooh, watch out.
Oh, how is he going to protect that pawn? He
Yeah,
isn't.
He can't.
No, he was counterattacking a different one instead, but Duda wants an endgame. He wants the queens off. Makes some sense because White's pieces are very active. Black's pawns are a bit on the weak side.
Well,
Yeah, he's taking the sting out of Hikaru's attack at least. So Duda,
clearly White is better due to better pawn structure, I suppose.
yeah, more pawns soon.
Yes.
Gonna be up material.
This was not the best practical choice of Hikaru, seems like. And the White's rooks are now, they're getting into the game as well.
Yeah.
They've been out of the game for a long time, but now they're coming alive.
Oh, down to a minute left for both of them.
Oh, that's a hustler type of move, bringing the knight in, hoping for some checks.
Hustler move, yeah. Okay, so bishop f2 is probably safe. No, wait, there's a pawn hanging.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
It's mega complicated for a queenless position like this.
That is.
Bishop's
Oh, it
now-
doesn't work because he's got rook g5 at the end. Wait, no,
Oh,
He thought he was going to give mate.
I messed this up. It doesn't work.
But
I messed
What?
this up.
knight f1?
Oh my
Hikaru had
god.
some checks. But now he's, forced to go into an endgame, 2 pawns down. He did mess it up, as he said. Maybe that was some knight checks. But he's still trying to give mate. The white king's still trapped. Okay, this is not as easy as the eval
I
bar
messed this
says.
up completely.
3 pawn advantage, though. And it will be, if there is a rook exchange, it will be the white pawns that march up the board and win later on. 28 seconds. Do we think it's enough?
2 pawns. It's not the easiest win.
Duda should get the rooks off as soon as possible, because then technically he cannot lose. Even if time runs out, his
That
opponent
would
only
be
has a
good.
knight. Oh, but the pawns are marching. Very clever.
Dum 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 dum.
They're coming.
Of course it blunders this.
They are marching.
Oh, and the White King is going to hide.
Oh,
Oh,
Knight gives
but
a
he
check.
does get one pawn.
But the Queen is coming. Queen is born.
Yeah.
oh.
Duda,
I choked that. I choked that so hard.
Zugzwang.
Oh, and he can't do anything in this situation at all. And he gives up. Duda even has more time in the end, so that was very convincing in the time scramble by Duda, who moves to 4 out of 4. And other players we can see with the perfect score before we're going into the break: Neiman, Wesley So, Aronian, Bortnik. Yeah, the field today is very stacked, and the fact that Magnus is not playing right now means that it could be any of these guys. This is a big chance to get a very good result in Title Tuesday and secure 10 more points for the leaderboard. Still a couple of games ongoing, and it will be interesting to see. I saw that Faustino just lost his 4th round, and we saw Miłosz, he lost the 3rd round. So people have already started dropping some points. Hikaru now going down against Duda. Caruana has taken a draw against Minlay. I mean, they're very difficult matchups already here in the 4th round.
Yeah, I remember the good old days of Title Tuesday when the first 7-8 rounds you would not really meet too many fellow grandmasters, and now it's you're meeting them as early, super strong grandmasters as early as round 4. Shows that everyone turns up these days, which is nice to see. But yeah, some surprises already on the cards as we go into the first break.
And the players are going to have a short break, and we will be back in just a moment. All right, and we are now joined by Miłosz from the other room, playing from Magnus's office. You have 3 points, Miłosz. How is it going for you?
Yeah, I would say that so far, so good. I wish I won the previous game. It was a nice attack in the close Sicilian, but somehow I couldn't find the win, so I went for this endgame with a queen for the rook and the bishop, and I thought it's quite hard not to... Okay, it's quite hard to lose it. I thought that at least I can secure a draw in the moment, but once I missed one move... Instead of queen c6, I should have played queen b8 not to allow rook h8, and then I was sure to do the perpetual. But once I allowed rook h8, the thing started I lost the control, and because of the time I started blundering all the pawns. So yeah.
We saw that you also had a little bit of a mouse slip in the final moments there with your queen. Is it difficult to play, like not with your usual setup?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's a really a new experience for me, new setup, new language. I'm trying today streaming in English for the first time. So yeah, I'm enjoying the time with you guys, and yeah, so far it's really great.
All right, and you have 3 points, and there are still a lot of rounds to go. So good luck to you in the following rounds. And I mean, 3 points, David. That is a good result.
Yeah, it's very solid. He might even be playing the likes of Hikaru next, Miłosz.
Oh.
Who do you really want to meet this week?
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to play against Hikaru. I saw also that Magnus is playing, so you know,
Well,
it will be hard after losing the 3rd round. But you know, who knows?
yeah, a lot of
can
our
dream.
viewers are saying that the field is really stacked today. There are 4 players that are participating in the Candidates tournament that are going to join here. So good luck to you in your next rounds.
Thanks a lot.
All right, and we can also take a look at one of the moments, the intense moments we've had in these first 4 rounds, because there has been a lot of action, and Hikaru here managing to somewhat turn around what was a very complicated game.
Yeah, this was a mega complicated game from move one. It was the Dutch defense. It became crazy. Pawns flying all over the board. Kings walking all over the board. In the end, it was Hikaru around this moment who managed to bamboozle Eric Rosen. The clock playing a big factor, of course. And Eric finally making his first real mistake of the game, letting his knight slip. He was basing everything on this check, but it was actually quite easy for the Black King to hide. And it was the White King that ended up doomed. This was a wild battle. Hikaru showing that tactically he's still very sharp, but he did fall a bit
Eric
later on.
did good prep for this game. His preparation in the opening was very, very good, and he was completely winning.
There we go. He summed it up himself perfectly.
Yeah, he did. And as you were saying before that game, or during the beginning of that game, Jon Christian, he was playing this Dutch opening, which he would probably not do normally in a classical game. So there is some kind of effect on these players who are participating in the Candidates tournament that they don't really want to reveal their openings and their preparation ahead of that tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've thought about it that probably the people who are participating in the candidates should check out those who are playing, for example, Title Tuesday. So then they can rule out everything they are playing.
The process of elimination.
Yeah, but then still you have so many openings still available. So they're probably just playing something very generic, not very critical. But when it comes to the candidates, they will play their sharpest opening that they have prepared for months, if not even a year. Like, this is when it really matters to show up at full strength and give it everything you have. So they will not they will waste all their preps on the candidates tournament.
But what do you guys think if, let's say, it's Caruana and it's Hikaru Nakamura playing in the final round to win Title Tuesday? Do you kind of struggle to keep your cards secret, or are you possibly then tempted to just like, I know I have a really good preparation against you in this opening?
Oh, it might be tempting to go for it. Like, I think like there'll always be more Title Tuesdays. Like, we love this tournament. We know how important it is, but candidates, that's the holy grail. That's the pinnacle. That's the one. So I mean, Hikaru, interestingly, he did play the Berlin defense there, so he was willing to show something. I mean, it didn't pay off. He actually ended up losing, but I think he'll toe the line between something sensible, but maybe not what he's planning.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to follow the candidates in the upcoming rounds now as well. We see that Nihal is doing very well. He has perfect 4 out of 4. We've got Neiman, Wesley So. I mean, it's so difficult to choose what game to follow in this situation because there are so many top matchups already here in the 5th round. But it is potential World Championship challenger here, Bluebaum, who is playing the Candidates tournament. He is playing against Vitokin, and let's see if he gives away anything of his opening preparation here.
Okay, Queen's Gambit declined, and looks like we'll get a Carlsbad pawn structure. That means very, very solid position for both sides. If Black does put his pawn on this square, but Bluebaum, he's quite an aggressive player, I think, by nature, quite dynamic. I do wonder whether with his last move, he might be tempted to throw this pawn forward, go for the Black King. No, he does castle. And, okay, maneuvering ahead. He's actually going to try and open up the center instead.
Yeah, Bluebaum, one of the, let's call him a dark horse for the candidates tournament. I've seen some people have praised his chances, actually, even though he's not considered to be one of the mega favorites by any means. He has a very good score against the field, I think. So he might do well. I like his position so far, but I tend to always like this structure with white. I mean, you have a extra tempi and the easier play. So yeah, he has this central control as well now. I really like his position.
Yeah, and he likes to play very like on the front foot, Bluebaum. He won a lot of nice games recently at the Tata Steel Masters. He won a lot of nice games at the Grand Swiss last year because his opponents were going so hard at him. But I actually think they should be trying to like contain his energy a bit more. So we'll see. I think a lot of players will overpress against him in the candidates. In the meantime, he's got a very, very nice pawn center. If he gets a couple more moves, maybe his rook to the center. At some point, put his king in the corner just in case, and you can start thinking about attacking his young opponent. I'm not so familiar with Vitokin, actually, Vitokin. But yeah, his young opponent maybe needs to find something quick with black before it's too late and the pawns start marching.
Yeah, so you have the opportunity now to have some sort of veto puns, David. I'm looking forward to it. In the meantime, I have a bit of a I like some lookalikes. So now I have a lookalike for Bluebound. I'm not sure
Okay.
if I should say it, but
Go on.
okay. So on this picture right here, a little bit like it.
Development in order.
Yeah, looking very good for White. Vatoken was actually the player who ended up beating Miłosz Spa earlier. He beat Andraken in the previous round, so
Oh,
he's on
wow.
a bit of a roll.
Okay.
So Bluebound, this is not going to be easy. He's kind of curled up into a ball here as well, Vatoken. Just defending this pawn with his rook, his knight, bishop. They're all passive. But maybe if you can start trading off pieces. Oh, I still like White's position though, the space advantage.
Yeah.